Okay, so for each of these, what we're going to do is we're going to be using the sum formula or the difference formula to compute these. And at first it looks super scary, but if you separate this, if you just rename these, let x equals the inverse sine of 5/13 and y is the inverse tangent of 4/3, things should be a little bit less scary. And so the sine of x plus y is using the sum formula, the sine of x times the cosine of y, plus the sine of y times the cosine of x. And now I'm going to put the scary stuff back in, but it'll be okay. So we have the sine of the inverse, so I'm just replacing this x with this right here. And we will replace the y with this tangent. So that's what's happening. And then let's see, this will be the sine of the inverse tangent of 4/3 times the cosine of the inverse sine of 5/13. Okay, before we go on, I need to know, well, of course, the first thing is going to be easy. This is just going to be 5/13. But the rest of these are not so obvious. So let's draw a couple of triangles. The first one will be this 5/13 triangle. So we'll call this theta. This will be 5/13 because the sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. That means that's 12. How do I know that? Okay, so 13 squared. Let me erase that. Let's see, we'll call that b for now. Is equal to 5 squared plus b squared. So do the math. 169, which 25 plus b squared. B squared is 144. So b is 12. And then, so that's where this 12 came from. So that's going to help us figure out which one? Over there, the cosine of the inverse sine. So the cosine of this angle will be 12/13. So that's going to go up there somewhere. Now let's deal with that other triangle. So the other triangle, there's the angle. And what do we know about it? Oh, here, the tangent of the angle is 4/3. So that's coming from that inverse tangent, the y there, the inverse tangent of 4/3. I guess I could have labeled these as y. Maybe I should do that. And this one could be x. Okay, well, anyway, tangent is opposite over adjacent. This one's easy. 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to hypotenuse squared. We'll call that h. And so you have 9 plus 16 is equal to h squared. And h squared is 25, so h is 5. Okay, so that tells us that the sine of that angle is opposite over hypotenuse, and the cosine of that angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we'll use those up there as well. So let's put it all together. So the cosine of the inverse tangent of 4/3, you know, I could have just left it like that with the y there, the cosine of y. Too late now. 3/5. And then the sine of that angle is 4/5. And then the cosine is 12/13. Let's multiply this out. We'll have 15 over 65 plus 48 over 65. And 15 plus 48 is 5863. And that will be that. Okay, so this one we'll do a little bit quicker, maybe. Let's find out. Let's let x equal, here, let me change colors. Let's let x equal the inverse cosine of 7/25, and y is going to equal the inverse sine of 12/13. And so this becomes the tangent of x minus y, which is tangent of x minus tangent of y over 1 minus the product. So we just need to find the tangent of x, tangent of y. To do that, I'm going to draw these two triangles. The first one with x, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we have to solve this equation. Call that b. So that's going to be 49 plus b squared is equal to 625. So b squared is equal to 576, and b is equal to 24. So that means that the tangent of x is equal to opposite over adjacent. Now let's do the same thing for the other triangle, the y triangle. Let's do that. And this gives us the sine is opposite over hypotenuse. We had this same triangle down here somewhere, 5, 12, 13, so I'm just going to fill this in as 5 down there. You can do the math, though. It's pretty simple. And now I need the tangent of y, which happens to be opposite over adjacent. So now we can just put this all together with this expression up here. So I'm going to just make an arrow, say we're going to use this stuff up there. Let's see, this is going to get ugly, I think. You know what, I'm going to move this down a bit. There. Okay, so we're back to using this stuff. So we have tangent of x, which was 24/7, minus the tangent of y, which is 12/5, all over 1 minus 24/7 times 12/5. I don't like this situation with all of these fractions, so I'm going to multiply the top and bottom of this times 7 times 5. Just to clean everything out, I'll end up with 24 times 5 minus 12 times 7 on top. On the bottom, 35 minus 24 times 12. Still, I haven't left myself very much room. There. Okay, see if I can do the math in my head. 24 times 5 is 120. 12 times 7 is 84. This is 35 minus 288. 120 minus 84 is 36. On the bottom, 35 minus 288 is 253, negative 253. So I guess that's my answer. 253. That'll have to do. All right. Hope this helps. Let me know. Make sure you like it.